Today, I will be putting Connor McDavid and Connor Bedard on the same team and seeing how many Stanley Cups the dynamic duo can win together. But the first step is to get Connor Bedard, so we're gonna have to throw this next season to hopefully get the first overall draft pick. And to do that, I'm gonna be benching Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl for one season and putting our remaining best players on the fourth line while Oscar Klefbom gets first line minutes on left wing as a defenseman. And just in case that isn't enough, we're gonna be putting Darnell Nurse on every line of defense and playing him 24/7. And even in my greatest attempt ever at getting last place, we still don't get the job done. We finished 30th in the entire league with a 33-42-7 record, earning 73 points. Chicago understood the assignment. They only had 62 points. And a quick stat check from that season, Darnell Nurse definitely used his playtime wisely. 113 points. The closest to him was Nugent Hopkins with 50. But Nurse still didn't have the most goals, which is fair, but it was Devin Shore with 22. And to nobody's surprise, McKinnon led the league in points with 133 and in goals with a whopping 72, which is bonkers compared to everyone else. EA's Golden Boy strikes again. After the Vancouver Canucks would win their first Stanley Cup ever, we move on to the draft, which I didn't actually see where we're picking, so we're going to be seeing it together for the first time. Hopefully it's first somehow. We did have a pretty good chance. It's not even third or fourth or fifth or sixth or seventh. Where are we picking? We probably don't even have our draft pick from this year, do we? And it was at this moment that I remembered Edmonton traded their first round pick in 2023 for Matthias Ekholm.
What an idiot.
We're running out of time to make a trade. I'm hoping this goes through. I'm sorry, Darnell Nurse. I'd rather have Connor Bedard. It is accepted. I don't really care. I'll say goodbye to Nurse for one simulation. We're taking Connor Bedard. And I just got an achievement for drafting a player with an X factor in franchise mode. It's a double win. I will admit that our defensive core looks absolutely horrible now. I do say defense wins championships. I don't care. We have the first line of Leon Draisaitl, Connor McDavid, and Connor Bedard. So if you're an Edmonton fan, are you trading Darnell Nurse and a couple draft picks for Connor Bedard? Let me know. Well, I seem to have definitely underestimated how important Darnell Nurse was to our team, as we'd finished 20th in the entire league with a 40-37-5 record, earning 85 points, missing the playoffs, obviously. I don't want to keep saying this game's simming engine sucks, but this game's simming engine sucks. I have it on high shooting engine, high scoring engine. Connor McDavid still only leads our team with 88 points and 35 goals. Not a bad year number one and 80 overall. Connor Bedard had 19 goals and 56 points. And the EA Sports Nathan McKinnon supremacy agenda continues as he finished on top of the league in points with 116. And I believe he tied for top of the league in goals, which he did. 53, he tied with Nikita Kucherov. Some good news is Bedard ended the season at an 87. Like I said, he did start at only an 80, so that's good progress. And the Colorado Avalanche are your Stanley Cup champions after beating the Toronto Maple Leafs in 5 games in the final. I do find it funny in this timeline that Boston would go from breaking the all-time win record to not even making the playoffs the next season. William Nylander led the entire playoffs in points with 34, 30 of them being assists. We're not even going to talk about that. And Matthews led it in goals with 18, and that was in 19 games played at that. Matthew Tkachuk, of all people, is your regular season MVP. And Hughes wins the James Norris. Shane Wright beats out Connor Bedard for the Calder. I don't know how to feel about that. Antonin was your playoff MVP while Demko won the Vezina. I guess these last couple of years have been really hard on Carey Price. He looks a little bit older than I remember, but he did win the Jack Adams with Detroit, so good for him. Year number 2 is way better. We finished 6th in the entire league with a 47-28-7 record, earning 101 points. Connor McDavid would lead our entire team in points with 94, still not hitting 100. Connor Bedard in only his second year, 84 points, 28 goals. McDavid and Evander Kane both led our team in goals with 32. Nathan McKinnon finally dethroned as the point leader in the league. Brad Marchand led with 115. McKinnon was second with 110, but it would still be McKinnon leading the league in goals with 60. And I kind of just messed up because apparently we got swept by the Arizona Coyotes. I was not prepared for that at all. This was in the conference finals as well. Leighton Keller, Gensel, and apparently that's really it. Michael Bunting, I guess, as well. Not really anything special. Their highest point getter was Keller at 90. With all that being said, they would still go on to win the Stanley Cup, beating the Washington Capitals in 7 games in the finals. McDavid had 19 points in the playoffs to lead our team while also leading in goals with 11. Bedard would score 7 goals and have 13 points. Ovechkin would lead the entire league in points with 31 while also leading in goals with 17. Nathan McKinnon gets regular season MVP. Cale Makar wins the James Norris. Leighton Keller wins playoff MVP, no surprise there. and Vasilevsky gets the Vezina. Dang, Carey Price is just a legendary coach. 2 years in a row, he gets the Jack Adams Award. Year number 3 would finish 10th in the entire league with a 46, 32-4 record, earning 96 points. And hey, would you look at that? An actually pretty good Connor McDavid simulation. 124 points to lead the team, also leading the team in goals with 54. And in the 3rd year of his career, Connor Bedard is already hitting a 100-point season. He had 105 points and 42 goals. McDavid would lead the entire league in points with his 124, and it would be Ovechkin leading the league in goals with 55. Sadly, the playoffs not our strong suit. We already find ourselves on the brink of elimination going into game 5. Year number 1, 3-0 Nashville, so I guess our series is basically already over. Yeah, 6-1. We're not coming back from that. And the Colorado Avalanche are your Stanley Cup champions, once again beating Florida in 7 games in the finals. I mean, not much to look at for playoff stats. 5 points for McDavid, 3 for Bedard. Bedard only scoring 1 goal. McDavid scored 2. And to nobody's surprise, McKinnon led the playoffs in points with 42, while also leading it in goals with 21. Connor McDavid wins regular season MVP. Colleen gets the Norris. McKinnon would win playoff MVP, while Spencer Knight won the Vezina. And no 3-peat for Carey Price on Coach of the Year. After 3 years of development, Connor Bedard is already at a 94 overall. We just locked him down for 6 more years at $11 million. Year number 4, we're finishing with a 52, 30-0 record, earning 104 points, finishing 3rd in the entire league. Pretty exciting year because Connor Bedard is finally 1st on our team in points with 111. McDavid had 107. Bedard also led in goals with 52. McDavid had 40. And by 1 point, Bedard would beat out Panarin to be top of the league in points. He would not lead the way in goals, however. That would be David Pastrnak with 57. And in the 2nd round, we find ourselves on the brink of elimination as we go to game number 6 against Anaheim. I don't even want to know who they have. I'm just gonna jump into it. Period number 1, 1-0 Anaheim. Brady Shea with the goal. Period number 2, 3-0 Anaheim. We're terrible at elimination games, clearly. Playing the 3rd period at 8 times speed, but I'm not expecting any good news to come our way. And just like that, we are eliminated in the 2nd round in 6 games. They just score one more time to rub it in our face as well. And the Anaheim Ducks would win the Stanley Cup, beating Carolina in 5 games in the finals. This is the 2nd year that we lost to that Stanley Cup champion. Connor Bedard would lead the way in the playoffs in points with 19 and in goals with 7, while McDavid had 4 goals and 18 points. Kaprizov is apparently now a Carolina Hurricane. He had 38 points and 16 goals, but they did not win the cup. Sadly, Connor Bedard is not winning his first regular season MVP, as Kaprizov would steal those honors. Makar winning the James Norris. Trevor Zegras won playoff MVP, while Kochetkov won the Vezina. Year number 5, we're finishing with a 52, 26-4 record, earning 108 points for 3rd in the entire league. McDavid regains his top spot on the team for points with 118. It would be Connor Bedard leading the team in goals with 47. He had 114 points, while McDavid had 46 goals. David would lead the entire league in points with his 118, while Bedard was in 2nd place. However, Austin Matthews on the LA Kings led the league in goals with 68. No playoff luck today. Going into game 4 of the 2nd round, we're down 3-0 to Anaheim once again. Lost 2 games in overtime, and the 3rd one also by 1 goal. We're gonna need a miracle here. Period number 1, no score. Period number 2, 2-1 Anaheim. I'm just gonna sim the 3rd period. Obviously, it's 3-1 Anaheim. We're out once again. Apparently, we have Logan Thompson in net. Doesn't matter. Man, do we just love losing to the Stanley Cup winners, as Anaheim would beat Carolina in 7 games in the finals to lift the Stanley Cup. Bedard and Draisaitl led our team in playoff points with 10, while Bedard, McDavid, and Nugent Hopkins all had 5 goals to lead our team there. You wanna know what's a slap in the face? The Anaheim Ducks have Stuart Skinner as their goalie. That's just toxic. Kaprizov still killing it on Carolina, 31 points to lead the league in playoff points, while Andrew Kopp, of all people, in Anaheim led in playoff goals with 14. Connor McDavid would add another MVP to his belt. Trevor Zegras gets back-to-back playoff MVPs, and Jeremy Swayman on the Rangers wins the Vezina. Well, this is not great. Year number 6, we actually finished last in the NHL with a 31, 43-8 record, earning 70 points, which is pretty ironic considering I started this video by trying to finish last and couldn't even manage. Well, I'll tell you what, it wasn't our first line's fault. 110 points for McDavid to lead the team. Bedard had 104 points, with Bedard leading our team in scoring with 43 goals. McDavid had 42. And I'm no expert, but I don't think 3 wins in 21 games played for Jack Campbell is good. Some things never change. Nathan McKinnon leads the NHL in points with 120, while Rantanen would lead the league in goals with 57. Anaheim would make it to the Stanley Cup Finals for the 3rd year in a row, but they would lose to Toronto, getting swept in the Stanley Cup Final. Nathan McKinnon is once again a regular season MVP. Adam Fox wins the James Norris. Mitch Marner is your playoff MVP. and Wallstead is your Vezina Trophy winner. And not that it matters, because I think I'm only doing one more year, but we didn't even get the first overall draft pick for finishing last. We had to settle for third pick. Year number 7, we would finish 7th in the entire league with a 46, 27, and 9 record, earning 101 points. Connor McDavid led our team with 123 points. He also led our team in goals with 59. Bedard only scoring 31 goals, but he had 111 points. Even with those amazing numbers, McDavid would not lead the league in points or goals. Matthews had 131 points and 75 goals. Connor Bedard is finally at a 95 overall entering these playoffs. And speaking of the LA Kings, we're actually playing them in the first round, McDavid versus Matthews. Man, I tell you, we probably have the worst defensive core in the NHL. Game number 5, we're on the brink of elimination. Period number 1, 1-1. 2 people without profile pictures scoring the goals. And I just realized LA has Shesterkin. I don't know what his overall is at this point, but that's wild. Period number 2, no score. Means 8 times speed. It could be a next goal win scenario. And Holloway is the goal scorer. Isn't enough to force game 6. It sure was not, as Ratty scores on Logan Thompson. And we're gonna have our first elimination game overtime of the day. At least I think so. Yes, we are. Look at these top 3s. They also have Adam Fox and Shesterkin. What did they do? What was the trade? Because they must have got Shesterkin and Fox at the same time. Next goal wins. We need to win to force game 6. And we're going to start early. Bedard, what a shot. Cody Ceci rips one. No way. What was this trade? Kravtsov rips it and they score. And our season is over. What are guys in the... What? Why are the fans... Did you see that? What was that?
EA Sports. It's in the game.
We're gonna finish how we started today with the Vancouver Canucks lifting the Stanley Cup after beating the Carolina Hurricanes in 5 games. Pedersen led the entire league in playoff points with 33, while Pedersen and Svechnikov tied for most goals with 14. Crosby retired after playing with Tampa Bay, and Stamkos retired while he was in the AHL. How does that even happen? Connor McDavid would grab one more regular season MVP, while Adam Fox won the James Norris on LA. Pedersen was your playoff MVP, while Samsonov on Carolina won the Vezina. So in 574 regular season games played, Connor Bedard would score 262 goals, earn 423 assists, for a total of 685 points, which means he was well over a point per game player. So after 7 years, our first line of McDavid, Bedard, and Draisaitl was absolutely amazing, but one line can't win you a championship, clearly. And obviously the one takeaway to take from this is the fact that Darnell Nurse is clearly better than Bedard, because of course we would have won a cup if we still had Nurse, right?
No.
That is going to be it for me today. Thank you everybody so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace